Atutomi. I'm asking you to join Laju Awala on the program This Week Today, every Saturday on Rise FM 106.7.
Live center of Delta State. I'll do it on the show. We're streaming it live for you on our Facebook page. So just go to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Rise FM Radio. You get to see the live video there, and you can also join us in the conversation there. But at some point, we open the phone lines so you can also be part of the conversation in the studio. But if you call in the studio line, you can get us. Remember, you can just go straight to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Rise FM Radio. You get to see the post and we get a conversation going on there. But what captures our attention on the show today is the security situation in Delta State generally, but specifically we are looking at the situation in Abraka. Of course, it's still in Delta State where it appears some people are saying kidnapping is on the rise, cultism is on the rise, and quite a number of things are becoming to brew their ugly heads in the state. These also prompted the state governor, Sheriff Oborevwori, just 2 days ago to summon an emergency meeting of stakeholders, including traditional rulers in the state, as well as local government chairmen, security chiefs, to discuss the security situation in the state and what must be done, to work hand in gloves with the government of the day to nip the situation on the board. But basically speaking, what is happening? What are the intelligence available to the security agencies and to the government, and what has resulted in the situation we see playing out in Abraka and other part of Delta State, where it appears that kidnapping is on the rise at the moment. But quickly, we take a listen to somebody who spoke immediately after the security meeting, talking about what has been resolved and what they are going to do. And that is the commander of 63 Brigade in Nigeria Army, Asaba, Brigadier General Folu Shonibare. Immediately after the security meeting, General Shonibare came out and said quite a couple of things. So we listen to what he said as a part of their resolve as far as security meeting is concerned. Then we come back and continue with the conversation.
All right, thank you. The security meeting today is an extended one, involving the executive, legislative, judiciary, traditional leaders, as well as security agencies and other stakeholders. The idea was for us to review the security situation in the states and appraise the successes that we have had so far, while also looking at what we can do to improve and enhance the security situation. As highlighted, the highlights of today's meeting were on kidnapping, cultism, farmer-sellers clashes, as well as drug abuse and the proliferation of drugs within the states. Solutions were proffered, discussions were very elaborate. The main aspect of it is that we're able to come together to look at how we can actually curb the security situation even up to the grassroots level. So with the meeting today, I can assure you that there's a lot of synergy that has taken place today, and the information will be passed from the grassroots down and upwards to the security agencies, where we can act and we can make sure that Delta State is safer. In appraising the successes, Delta State is achieving a lot of security. You can attest to the fact that IPOB is not able to operate in this state, and they will never be able to operate in this state. They will not cross over the bridge. We are doing a lot to curb kidnapping. We have thwarted a lot of kidnapping attempts this month, in May. and we have rescued over 16 civilians that were about to be kidnapped, and many other things. We are arresting cultists. We have apprehended a lot of them with pistols, both locally made and international, and so many other things. So there's a lot of effort going on, and we'll not relent. We'll continue to do our best to make sure that Delta State is clear of all criminals. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I would like you to know that in the past 2 weeks alone, there have been over 11 protests in Delta State in different parts, some involving the communities and the oil companies, some involving some other aspects of community issues. And there was never any protest that the military did not keep an eagle eye to make sure that it does not go violent. The particular protest in Abraka went violent. Some ragtag, some members of the community hijacked the peaceful protests and started flogging civilians along the roadside, started closing down shops, forcing people to join the protests, and they even blocked the highway, causing a very major gridlock. So it was chaos, and the military had to wade in. The police was overwhelmed because they were actually moving towards the police station. If you know what their demands were, demanding for the change of the DPO, demanding for so many things, and accusing the police of so many things that were unwanted. And they were trying to advance towards the police station. They blocked the highway, and it became chaos. So the military had to wade in, and nobody was shot. The protest was cleared peacefully. So if anybody says was shot, the person is lying. My men are very professional. And like I said, there are a series of protests. As I'm speaking to you, there's a protest going on, and nobody has been shot. So that is not correct. Thank you.
For your top political interviews, expert analysis on burning national and state issues, I, Atuton, asking you to join Laju Awala on this.
That was the voice of yeah, in highlight what actually played out in that meeting during the weekend thought by the governor of the state, His Excellency Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, to deal with the security situation in the states. And of course, we continue to keep our eyes on it and also monitor the development and the situation of things. But I have with me in the studio a gentleman who will help us take a look at what is happening at the moment. And of course, it appears he has also had some experience as far as this particular situation is concerned. So joining me on the show today is my regular guest on the show, Reverend Louis Afolabi, who is a public affairs and a political analyst. Reverend, good evening. It's good to have you.
Laju, good evening, the fans.
Yeah, I'm sure you took your time to listen to what Brigadier General Shonibara said. But before we go into what he said, tell me, what is happening? What is playing out in Delta State? It appears the security situation is deteriorating and it's becoming a source of concern.
Laju, let me say here that early last month, I had to travel via the train from from Ujewu along the Auchi route. And whilst we were there inside the train, you noticed there were movements of northern movement supposedly to be northerners entering the train. So one of the train officials said something. He said, with the incident in Edo State, the communities have come out, or community leaders in Edo State have come out to issue an order that the herdsmen in Edo State should move out because their presence is constituting security challenge. And that what you are noticing today now is that they have sent their wives home while they have moved their cattle towards Delta State. And that Abraka is their likely destination. That we should watch out that very soon they will be kidnapping and killing in Abraka. He said that on the 6th of May, less than a month. What he said just came to pass as if he knew what he was talking about. So it may likely be that the incident in Edo State had caused the movement or the revolt by Edo people have made them to move towards Delta. And that movement towards Delta is the result of what we are seeing today. You recall that in this your program, I've said it time and again, that the way and manner people are moving into Delta states are becoming unbecoming. That you have a situation where people just move in, no address, no identity, they live under the bridge, they live at every corner available. It's not done. You are going to have security challenge. So what is happening now is not strange to me. It's expected. That's the truth. It's expected. Because a man that has no identity, a man that has no address, a man that has no location, is a security risk. That was why in those days there was a law called wandering law. That law had been abolished. But the idea behind wandering law was that a man moving on the street by 11 p.m., police could arrest him for wandering because it means he has no home. It's a security risk. But that law had been abolished. So what we are saying is that these guys are wanderers. And a wanderer is a security risk. That's just the truth. That's my opening remark.
Okay, but when you look at the situation in the state at the moment, because it appears some people are trying to blow it out of proportion. That is how those in government see it. Is the situation really as bad as the way some people are putting it out there in the public?
Like you, nobody prays to be a victim of insecurity. Nobody prays to have a loved one who suffers from insecurity. No one prays to have a loved one that has been kidnapped and go through the trauma of kidnap, or prays to be kidnapped and go through the trauma of kidnap. No one prays to have a loved one that has been shot by these elements. No one prays to have a loved one or have himself killed. I have a pastor friend at Ibuzo who was preparing for a kind of leaders' prayer vigil. While they were standing outside, these guys came and they kidnapped the church members, and they were trying to kidnap him. He resisted. They shot him with double-barrel gun that tore his thighs to the bones. Millions have been spent, and because he cannot be handled again in Delta State, he has been moved out of Delta State to an hospital somewhere. And I saw him in that condition. He hardly could move again. So what we are saying is that whether it is one person, whether it is two person, whether it is 0 person, as far as life is concerned, there's nothing like blowing out of proportion. Because what goes round will come round. That's why he was
I'll come back to you, but let's allow those listening to us and those watching us live on our Facebook page to now be part of the conversation. If you want to join in the conversation live in the studio, the number for you to call is 09128784237. I'll take the number again so you can get it slowly. 09128784237. That is the number you can call to be part of the conversation. Alternatively, you try calling the number you can get, because quite a number of people are calling that number at the same time, so you may find it difficult to get through. Alternatively, just go straight to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Rise FM Radio. You get to see the video live, and you can drop your comment there, and we also take it in the course of the conversation. Yes, hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, please. Your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Martin calling from Oya. Thank you for this program for enlightenment to tell